because of the access that they have to a lot of things that that they really need to be um, invested in learning and acquiring a lot of skills. And of course, the top of the list would be digital literacy, right? And in a digitally advanced world today, every career, whichever career that one chooses to go after, I think uses technology of some kind. And I think it's very important, that whatever it could be. I mean, I don't think, again, one needs to go to even a coaching center, or you have so many online courses that even teaches you basic MS Office skills. So I think digital literacy is something that they should completely invest themselves in. And any program, it could be learned on any program or device. So digital literacy, I think, is something very, very important. The other thing is, again, as I said, today's workforce is looking at a different kind of uh, approach, right? Everything is not linear. Everything is not like, you have a certain number of tasks to complete, and then, you end up completing that. That's not the way employers look at the new workforce that's joining. They are required to kind of have different kinds of critical thinking, different kinds of problem solving skills. And hence, it's important for them to look at things in different ways. Today, if you see, even while children are in their higher education, when they're pursuing their high school, you have a lot of youth entrepreneurship programs. I'm telling you this because I push my son to be a part of these courses, where they're asked to come up with something very innovative, where they're able to put their thinking hats together and come up with entrepreneurial pursuits. And then there's a panel that asks these kids a lot of questions on how would you tackle. They may not be any right or wrong answers, but it's more like how is their thinking process. Is it different from the traditional way of thinking? And hence, I would say, developing an entrepreneurial mindset. Not everyone needs to become take up an entrepreneurial pursuit, and not everyone needs to dole out unicorns. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it's good to train your mind in that way, because when they go to today's, again, as I said, today's workforce and today's employment, one requires to really think in different ways. It's just not what it used to be several years back. So I think employers are looking for new hires that will make a difference, in their companies. So forward thinking attitudes. So it's important for them to keep themselves abreast of everything that's happening around, read a lot of informative articles, interact with a lot of people, and things have really changed. Earlier, in 20 years back, 30 years back, you had a very what do I say, one-way relationship, right? With our supervisors or with seniors. You could only approach them when you really had something important to ask or to say. But today's, young entrepreneurs, young leaders are more than willing to give away a lot of information, exchange thoughts. So I think today's youth should really leverage on those on availability of people, who are there to give them those thought leadership. So that's very important. The other thing is, because of advance in technologies, I think our world has become extremely smaller than ever. And no longer would employees deal with only people in their region. Young people now work with people all over the world, right? I mean, take any technology company, any company, travel company, take any domain. You're not restricted, or you're not your interactions are not restricted to people in your own region. You need to have that global citizenship attitude. So I think appreciation and understanding of other cultures. Once you start talking to these people, it's important to understand, how to interact with those citizens from other countries. So I think, for instance, in this context, learning a different language could be an asset. Able to communicate and bond with people from other cultures can be a very, very valuable attribute to any young adult today. And last but not the least, as I said, curiosity and love for learning. I think it's very, very important to constantly keep yourself updated, because things are moving at a lightning speed these days. It's important for young adults. It's important for all of us. It's not, specific to youngsters, to constantly keep pursuing knowledge, learning new things, get new certifications. I mean, it's imperative. It's something that you can't do without. It's very important.